Recently, I found this image on Instagram, and at first look, it felt like, oh yeah, that's actually true. Like, I have my own experience, and from my own experience, I can tell, yeah, the more mental attractiveness you have towards someone and less, physical attractiveness, the more probability that you're gonna be just a friend with this person, because. But then I looked in the comment section, and it terrified me. I don't know. A lot of people was talking like every other person. I felt like everyone should agree with that because that's just some ground truths. It's like, yeah, that's how world actually works. But in the comment section, everyone was talking about like, oh, that's such an insult post, or yo bro, you're never gonna have a girlfriend, or something like that. And I was like, what? Why is that like something weird? Because in my mind, I don't know, it felt like it's just, I couldn't find any other reason to say that, oh, this is not true, or like, it's not how it works. But it is. It actually is. Because I have had a lot of relationships. I mean, not so many, but in terms of like on the whole spectrum of this image, so to say, I mean, not really in the whole spectrum. I have not had a relationship that could have potentially led me to a marriage. Otherwise, I probably would have stayed with that person. But it's also like, it's not only about you, but also about other person, because for the other person, you could be really mentally attractive, but at the same time, you ain't gonna be that physically attractive for that person. And it could be really irritating because you can have a really, really, really like big amount of attractiveness, for example, physical attractiveness towards this person, but you see the one like where it says relationship potential, but so you're gonna think about the relationship with this person, even though you don't really have this bond, mental bond. You only like her physically, and like her physically, for instance, 10 out of 10, and you're gonna think, okay, maybe that's the right person. Maybe her, like, that we don't really have this mental bond. That doesn't mean that we are not made for each other, and like, we could try that shit. Maybe, yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you, my man? Are you fucking tripping? What's going on? Why do you look so freaking weird, bro? So yeah, imagine you met this person who you consider as the most beautiful person on earth, and like, but you have this feeling that, even though she's beautiful and shit, but I don't really have too much to talk about with her. Like, we spend all the time doing some stuff that's like, just imagine if that would have been your friend. So take her beauty off and just imagine being just a friend with her. And is that gonna work out? Is it like, are you gonna be happy? Are you gonna be able to be friends with this person? Because if not, I really think that's like worth it. I don't know, not really worth it, but I really think that's a strong, that you could have a strong relationship with that person. It feels like every other person, like man especially, they're trying to find the girl based on her beauty, and then he's looking for some sort of excuses. I mean, not really excuses, but for some justification. Like, oh, maybe she's not that stupid, or I'm not saying that she's gonna be stupid or what, but it's like, oh, maybe they're trying to believe in that shit, that it's actually interesting to them to talk to that person, even though it's really not. I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? And if we're gonna look at this from the other perspective, you know, where diamonds, when this person's gonna be like a soulmate, basically 10 out of 10 mental attractiveness, but at the same time her physical attractiveness ain't gonna be like more diamonds, ain't gonna be like, oh yeah, she's okay, but I don't really think she's my type, you know. But at the same time, yeah, you're gonna have a feeling that she's basically your soulmate, and you could be like best friends forever with her. You're gonna also try to find some maybe excuses like, oh, but she can understand me that well, and I know if I can ever find a person like that, you know, who'll be that interesting, or that, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, that's just a problem, so to say, because those two girls, one who's like really mentally attractive to you, and the other one who's really physically, like, you feel this attraction towards her, if they are not being that good, or even like you have a feeling that without her, like, if you would take, you know, if you couldn't see her beauty, or you couldn't see how interesting she is, then it would have meant that she's not really a great fit for you, you know? And that's the thing. It's impossible to find someone who's gonna be like 10 out of 10 in both ways. And that's why a lot of people are calling that guy who posted that thing an incel, because he says that, oh, it's impossible to find someone who's gonna be 10 out of 10 in terms of mental attractiveness, and 10 out of 10 in terms of physical attractiveness. Because it is true, it's very rarely, I mean, it's not really like very rarely, it's almost impossible. There's always going to be something in this person, what's something that you're not going to like, okay? So, I mean, yeah, probably the most realistic one is like, and the best and the most realistic one, if you're thinking about the best option, because the most realistic could be like 4 and 4. I mean, 4 out of 10 and 4 out of 10, or 3 out of 10 and 3 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna be something realistic and usual and normal, and it's like, just, I'm not saying average, but like, it's not that hard to find, right? And at the same time, like, combining 7 out of 10 and 7 out of 10, it's also realistic, but it's way more rare. Yeah, so, but at the same time, out of those realistic options, it's gonna be the best option. Because, you know, maybe trying to find 8 out of 10 and 8 out of 10 combined, yeah, maybe that also could be possible, but I don't really think that, it's like, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a lot of attempts. It's gonna, because, you know, even though you can understand your physical attractiveness towards someone from the first sight, or like almost from the first sight, trying to understand a mental attractiveness is way other thing. But sometimes, actually, when I once I met a girl who was like 10 out of 10 in terms of mental attractiveness, maybe like 9 out of 10. But at the same time, she was not my type. She was like probably 3 to me. I mean, 3 is a lot, if I'm being honest. 3 is already a lot, but it felt like, nah, I'm not sure if she's my type. Like, she wasn't my type, you know, but I wouldn't say nah. She was beautiful, I mean, but not for me, you know. I had this feeling that, bro, that's not really what attracts me. And that was sad. But I knew that, what I was trying to say is that I knew that she was like 9 or 10 out of 10 in terms of mental attractiveness almost from the first sight. That was crazy. Like, I could also probably say the same about like physical attractiveness. If she's like 5 or 6, you ain't gonna have this. So the less attractiveness you have towards someone, the more time you'll need to realize how much you attracted this person. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if it's in the middle, if it's on the both ends, so if she's 1 out of 10, I mean, she looks 1 out of 10, you're gonna know about that. If she looks 10 out of 10, you're gonna know about it right off. But if she's like 4 or 6 out of 10, you ain't gonna be that sure about it. You know, you're gonna think like, okay, she's not that bad. I mean, she's not the most beautiful person on the planet Earth, but at the same time, yeah, it feels like she's kind of beautiful, you know. And if I can see this beauty in her, maybe there's something to find. I don't know. And that's why I think you shouldn't have sex with someone before even thinking about the commitment, because, you know, yeah, she can be really attractive and you want to have sex with her, but, or not really, it's not really only about sex, it's also about some intimacy, some affection, some infatuation, because that's gonna create some ties, some bonds, because you're gonna be physically attracted to that person, but at the same time, it's gonna, I'm not saying it's gonna create some addiction, but like your mind's gonna be a bit not so, it ain't gonna be that clear about this person, because you're gonna think, oh yeah, we have this chemistry, we're made for each other, especially with girls. I mean, a man, girls, well, what? Maybe males are more affected by that shit, because, you know, it's something more valuable for them. It's like they have this need. I mean, it's the same with women. They also could act like that. It's like just having sex, basically, if we call the things the way they are. Just, you know, not giving a fuck about it. And I think that's something that is like really, really bad. I mean, at least for me, you know, you are the only one who can decide what is bad for you and what is good and what not. And I think having sex before even thinking about the commitments, before thinking about the relationship with this person, I think it could harm you a lot, because you're just gonna fall in this addiction behavior. Hey bro, what are you doing there? And yeah, it can really mess up your brain, like what you really feel about that person and how you really want to treat her. You know, you'll try to find some justifications why she's not that bad of a friend, or why she's interesting, or like, so yeah, I think it's better to build a friendship with someone first. And it's, you know, it's quite hard because to detach your feelings, because you can like someone, and if you like someone, it means like you're gonna try to be, not to be the friend of that person who you like, but you're gonna try to impress that person, you know. And that is something that's really like hard to, difficult to yeah, just to understand. I don't know, maybe I'm really like talking some insult nonsense and I don't really realize that shit, but it feels like to me that it's just the way how things works. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about it. Maybe I'm being wrong. So yeah, I'm always open to new opinions. Maybe some opinions that is gonna be more truthful. I don't know. Yeah. So hope you enjoy this yapping, and see you in the next one.